Nothing new. I mean, he's out near term, we know that. So we're just making sure that we get as many different ideas on treatment plans and things of that. So I'll give you the update when I get the final update of what we're doing.
Back in the
Lusty, a dad, comes back into the game. Dad.
For this group, so many young kind of dads.
That's
I
awesome.
think everyone's kind of in the same spot in life right now with this team.
That's 100% true, and it's great for your team when you look at the family, the extended family, the wives get to come to the rink, and everybody's got a baby. We got lots of babysitters. We got lots of people going through the same thing. It's an exciting time, you know. The such a big moment in their lives to have a child, and then be able to share it with the other ladies and the other players on the team. They're all going through the same thing. It's a lot of fun. Everybody drives slower now, I guarantee you that.
Justin Sourdif obviously made a real impact
Yeah.
in his call-up. I know you guys really liked him, but do you look at him a little differently when he has a game like that in just a one call-up sample?
I judge, so the goal was great, and I'm really happy for him, but it was the other parts of the game that you're looking at because goals just don't happen that often. We talked about Mackie, Samoskevich, Spencer Knight for that matter. The players that we've brought up from Charlotte have come in with a really strong understanding of the game that we play because it's mimicked in the American League. That's a credit to those guys. The goal is a prime example that he scored. He was the low forward. He's a winger, but he's assumed the center ice position to be the low forward on that play and didn't slow down, didn't check his shoulder, didn't try to, there was no question of where he was supposed to be, and that just makes him faster. And then down the ice, he comes with a lot of confidence and a lot of speed, and he makes the play. So he wasn't afraid, not afraid to make a mistake if you're doing the right things. And that takes a little bit of time, too, so he's not as big-eyed. Because he understands where he's supposed to be, he can skate, which is his real asset, so he looks faster now. And you're really happy for him. I liked his entire game, not just the goal. I'm happy for him with that. But his overall game says he's a National Hockey League player.
Today's the first time you're going to see the...
You got us like all dressed up this morning, brother. Awesome. We appreciate that.
Yeah, so today's the first time the Edmonton Oilers are going to be in this building since Game 7 of the Cup Final. I mean, what kind of memories are kind of swirling through your head going into a game like this one?
Well, I think it's probably the catalyst they need. They've been off their game for a little while, and over 82 games, everybody goes through that. And when you do, sometimes you're just looking for a jump start to get you going. This game, that Game 7 memory for them will be, we will expect them to be at their best tonight. We won't do a lot of reminiscing before the game, but if you watch the prep programming coming into the game, you get some flashbacks, and brings a smile to your face.
Did you have to change any TVs when you walked into that?
No, not
Game 7?
No, that was a fact. I was about 5:30 in the morning, and I couldn't find, I don't know how the remotes, I don't know how they turn these TVs on in here, but we got to have 20 TVs in this building, at least 16 of them, so this was going to be the biggest collapse in the history of sports. So I was trying to figure out a way they could not creep that, and they just left it there. It was just on for usually the banners change, and no, they ran that one hard. So we figured out how to get the TVs off.
And looking back at that time, I mean, you guys seemed like you were playing it pretty cool, but
Oh man,
how much concern was there going into that game?
I don't. Yeah, concern. We had blown by the concern would be the moon, and we were hovering around the sun at that point. Concern wouldn't. Yeah. But there was an interesting balance to it. So clearly, you lose 3 in a row, and you are very aware of what that means. But the other side was still there, and that was we have this chance. Sometimes maybe you let your brain worry about failure where there's not really a payoff to success. You just avoid failure, and that's your driver. Just don't want this to be bad, but that wasn't the context of this at all. There was still a Stanley Cup right there for you to take. And I think the overall memory, other than you get to touch the Stanley Cup and you get your name on it, is actually in those 3 days in between, before the puck drops to the end of the game, what you went through and what you had to do mentally to get yourself be in a position to play as well as we did, to come out at the start of that game. And there was that sense on the bench. Not necessarily that you'd be lying and say, well, I knew we were going to win 5. No, you didn't know whether you were going to win 5 minutes, but I knew we were right. And we had not carried any of that concern, negative energy into that game. It was all, let's go.
Just one more thing about Matthew. Has anything changed?
No, nothing,
Positively,
nothing. We just don't need to hurry right now because he's not playing on the weekend, and we're not jamming him back into the game. So we're just going to make sure that we see as many people as we need to see to make sure that we got a really good handle on how it wants to be
Is he
approached.
back in town, or is
Yep,
he-
he's here today. He's avoiding you.
Looking at the game in Nashville defensively, really didn't give up much.
Mm.
Obviously, the Oilers are a different beast, but how
Yeah.
do you kind of take some of that into this game?
I think our Nashville game, and I'll include the Seattle game to that as well, has been pretty darn consistent to the new year. Defensively, it's just going to look different because they are so dynamic, right? They can create something even if everybody's in the right spots, and it's a lot of competing with a team with that high skill level is what you allow them to do with the puck, where your sticks are. It's a lot of the details are far more important, and it's not just you got to be in the right spot. That's true every night, but your stick's got to be in the right spot and the gap closure, and you can't be the only one defending against the puck carrier. Everybody else has got to be in the right spot because the pass is going to get made, the play is going to get made. So you have to be right continuously defensively against this team because the open ice is what kills you.
Goaltender?
Sergey plays tonight. Yep.